sponge ball trick. Julio Marino, the sleight of hand magician, is a master of sponge ball magic. In one of the episodes of the Penn and Teller show, he performed quite a few tricks using the sponge balls. To start off his act, he first magically appears sponge balls out of nowhere. Thereafter, he picks up the sponge balls in his fist and then disappears them one by one from his fist and makes those balls to magically appear from inside the bowl. He then hands over 2 balls to the presenter and converts them into 3. Finally, he keeps on converting the sponge balls into multiple balls out of nowhere. And rightly so, the judges called him by the name Shin Lim of Sponge Balls. So, how did he do it? Well, here's the secret. To execute this act, it requires a lot of patience, and the key skills are palming the ball, using your fingers, misdirection, and sleight of hand. Also, before the act started, he already set up his pockets and sleeves with sponges. The pockets were so loose that it's easier for him to reach into them. He also hid a sponge underneath the bowl and in his hand. Now, for the first part, to make the first 2 sponges appear inside the bowl, he had already grabbed them from the hidden place and concealed it behind the closed fist, and then only pretends to make the ball appear from the bowl. For the third sponge ball, here, he has that ball hidden in his left hand. Now, during this moment, he grabs the sponge with his right hand and then only had to pretend to magically make it appear. Further into the trick, he magically transfers the balls from his hand into the bowl and brings them back. How is it possible? Well, when he puts the balls into his left hand, few balls stay in his right hand, which he then appears out of the bowl. For instance, to make the third ball disappear, at this moment, he actually drops the ball from his left hand and down on the table, and pretends to put the ball from his right hand onto the table as it stays in his hand. He then used the ball from his right hand to be the third ball. In the final part, he calls the presenter, hands him 2 balls, and converts it into 3. Well, for this trick, he actually puts 3 balls into her hand from the start and made it look like 2. One was hidden in his palm, while he gathered 2 balls from the table. Further, to multiply the balls in her hand, he always loaded at least 1 ball in his hand in a clever way by reaching into the pocket, thereby always keeping the count of balls on the table to 3. And this is how he fooled the judges.